Recording in progress.
Please, sir. Yeah. Good morning and welcome to this session of the live virtual revisionary classes of the. Yes, sir. Ah, yeah. Good morning and welcome to this session of the live virtual classes conducted by the revisionary classes conducted by the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Um, Today we are going to talk about one of the. Sir, is it okay? कुछ problem है? No, I'm actually using my phone connection. I don't have Wi-Fi, but it's working. Is it working? Hello? Can I proceed? Because my Wi-Fi is out. That is but it was working well. Now is it okay? Shall I do one thing? Without video, shall I do? Without video? One second. One second, sir. Yeah. Good morning and sorry for that interruption. So we'll be continuing with the topic called Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. As the name implies, this is about management of foreign exchange. Briefly, the earlier act was called Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, which was there right from almost after independence right up to 1999. Okay. I don't want to take you too deep into the economic background of this law, though this is very much an economic law. We have laws like the Companies Act, which are framework law, which is meant for giving a framework for incorporation of companies, etc. Contract Act. These are all framework laws. They give a framework within which we operate. Okay, they don't. But whereas the economic laws are meant to bring about some kind of an economic change or economic advancement. So based on policies of the government, which means certain policies were taken earlier by which the economy was closed. That means you could not invest abroad, nor could foreigners or non-residents invest in India without a lot of procedures were there. So that as part of the 90s, LPG framework, the liberalization, privatization, and globalization framework, one important thing that happened was liberalization. So as part of liberalization and of course globalization, it was decided that we'll open up the economy. Also, India was a closed economy, which means though we were sheltered from the volatility of foreign market and foreign exchange fluctuations, still we were not growing as an economy. Our growth, our GDP was not good. Our infrastructure was very bad. So we were, in fact, almost till 1990, economic books in India, especially Indian economics, the first chapter will be called Give Reasons Why India is a Poor Economy. I mean, this, maybe you won't know it, but in those days when we studied economics in 1980, the first chapter on Indian economics itself is reasons why India is a poor economy. And we'll give about 15 or 25 reasons why. All sorts of reasons will be given by economists. Point is policy. So the policy framework was changed. The 40 years of stupid policies resulted in India being a poor economy. So in 1990, the change happened. Then Manmohan Singh and Narasimha Rao decided to bite the bullet. And so they committed to a growth in GDP. Now, growth in GDP cannot happen with these policies. And one of the important thing was we needed to open up the economy. Therefore, they said, let's open the economy. That is why you'll notice that though liberalization started and globalization started in 1990 itself, 91 itself, this act comes only in 1999 because this is a very, very delicate topic, our currency. Because one of the threats that the International Monetary Fund, which is basically the United States of America, they did was they said, if you do not control, or if you do not open up your economy for foreign investment and so many foreign brands, etc., we will devalue your currency because you guys are borrowed heavily and you don't pay interest. And for interest also you're borrowing. So such people have no right to call themselves, you can do whatever you want. You go the way of other countries, you also join the bandwagon. We'll devalue your currency vis-a-vis the dollar. And that's it. Let's proceed on the same route that Indonesia took or Thailand took. Well, it depends on what you do. You decide. Manmohan said, no, give me a chance. And then he came back and 3 whole years, they ensured that the GDP went up. So slowly the economy was opened. Even with the old FERA framework, we were permitting FDI in. But at one point in time, there was a need for a framework, a clear-cut rules and policy framework that would open up the economy. Still, what we did was, when we went for liberalization or opening up the economy from a foreign exchange perspective, we were a little cautious. Even now, the Indian economy is not a fully open economy, which means you cannot take money out and invest it in foreign countries as you please. There are still controls on how much money you can take out of India, etc. Similarly, though the inward flow is extremely liberalized, still there are selected industries and selected activities where we will not permit foreign investment in India. This means the Indian economy is not an open economy still. And nothing wrong in that. I'm not questioning the decision of Dr. Manmohan Singh, that he decided that we shouldn't open up totally. I think it was a good decision and I think it has worked. The fact that it has worked can at least be seen in the 5 southern states. who encouraged FDI, foreign direct investment, who are open to and who are Anglophone, who are willing to speak English, and who knew the power of foreign direct investment. So they were facilitating. And of course, pockets in the north like Gurugram, pockets in the north, very few pockets in the north like Gurugram is one big example. Bombay, of course. Bombay is a different story. So that other than Gujarat, little bit, not much. So in terms of IT industry, in terms of real for FDI, not much. Automobile, yes, Gujarat has done something, but even not as much as Tamil Nadu could has done in a shorter span of time. So the point here is some states used this FDI well, others possibly lost out on it. Even states which could have gone for a tourism partnerships where tourism is there, they have not been able to build the infrastructure. This is my view, expressed not sitting in Coimbatore or Chennai where I live, but by traveling all over this country. I have traveled almost everywhere, but for very few. In fact, the other day I was sitting with a map of India, Google map, and I was trying to locate places in each state where I have not gone, state-wise. I find that a few places are still there. All the states I have gone, but there are places where I have not gone. So having gone everywhere and seen the infrastructure that they have been able to develop, I think the infrastructure is what is preventing the North from truly gaining on taking advantage of the FDA. That is the only reason. The Anglophone and infrastructure. If these two things are improved, maybe there is a chance for them also to grow, to increase per capita, etc. Per capita is the problem. Huge population expansion for very reasons best known. Poor overall state level customer. If you look at the state GDP, it will be very low. Coupled with a huge population, what you're talking about is a very low per capita income in these states. And therefore, they are called the poorest states in India. The three poorest states, UP, MP, and Bihar. The three richest states, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, this Telangana, erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, I should say, complete Andhra Pradesh, Kanda Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, of course, and Karnataka, the three richest states. So just a small study would show why. Even a child will know how these three became richest and they became poorest. Now, having said this, so what happened was, as you can see in the diagram, there are two types of flows, foreign exchange. For the sake of example, I'm taking USA. This could be any country, UK, Spain, UAE, whatever you want. And so whatever the country is, we will have exports to that country and we'll have imports. So when the imports are more than the exports, we have a negative balance of trade. We have a negative balance of trade. For your information, the balance of trade is positive now. Okay, you can check it out on Google also. Means, but compared to the import, exports are more. So others owe us more money than we owe others. Not bad, but I know how far that statistics is reliable and whether they've included defense in it, whether they've included certain other things in it, and it's only so assuming that all imports are taken and all exports are taken, we seem to have come. That is thanks to this law. Okay, so what the law does is to give the basic framework of the law. It classifies foreign exchange flows into two categories: the import and export of goods and services, payment for expenses, etc. All as from accountants, you and I are chartered accountants. So from our perspective, we shall put it this way: all P&L accounts, all revenue accounts are called current account transactions. Anything that will hit the P&L, is called a current account transaction. So as chartered accountants, you will understand this. Anything that hits the balance sheet, it could be a liability, or it could be an asset, or it could be a contingent liability also. As you know, it won't hit the balance sheet. It is an off-balance sheet, but it is connected with the balance sheet, right? So contingent liabilities. So any transaction which affects asset liability or contingent liability will become a capital account transaction. I've given you a very, very vague definition. We will see the actual definitions going forward. So being a revision class, I may go a little fast. If you have doubts, you can always ask me at any stage and I will clarify it for you. Okay. Uh, of course, the opinions on the economic policy are mine, not the institute's. And as a chartered accountant in practice, I have every right to hold an opinion and express that opinion in a reasonably decent way. Okay, nothing wrong in expressing an opinion. And I'm sure you have an opinion too, which I value. Think about it. Have this policy when you deal with people. You can have an opinion, but respect the other person's opinion, value it, and thereafter try to convince him politely why he could be wrong. But if still understanding is not possible, you have understood my opinion, I have understood your opinion. There is a way ahead than you not even bothering about what I'm thinking, why I'm thinking, and I not even bothering about you. So and keeping on saying you are wrong, you are wrong, you are wrong. So try to understand the other person's point of view. Don't accept it, at least value it, and then, if necessary, try to convince that person why he is wrong, etc. This approach would make you a far more polished professional than shouting and telling you are wrong, you don't know anything like that. So, okay, so quick definitions. Currency is a broad term. It includes our currency notes, which you use on a daily basis, postal notes, postal orders, money orders, checks, drafts, travelers checks. See, this definition was in 1999. So they talk about check, right? And money orders, postal orders, etc. Today, usage of checks is very much limited and etc. Drafts, etc. So today we prefer to go for EFT, electronic fund transfer, EFT, whatever you call it, electronic fund transfer, whatever you call it. Okay. So we have no online payment mechanisms, whatever you call it. Yeah. The point is today we give instructions to the banker through internet. I'm being very, very careful here. What is a check? It is a piece of paper which gives an instruction to the banker. Basically, it's a bill of exchange on a particular banker. Okay, a check is basically a bill of exchange on a particular banker, directing him to pay a certain sum of money only to or to the order of the person or the bearer also. A check can be bearer, only check. A bill of exchange cannot be a bearer, whereas a check can be made payable to bearer. And means self-check, we call it now. You can go to the bank and take cash. Whatever it is, a check is an instruction to the banker. Today, these instructions are not done on paper. We don't take out a check and we actually go for, online instructions, which basically means when you press the pay button or confirm button on your mobile phone and you make the payment, specific, even on RuPay or GPay or whatever you are using, you are writing a check. You are see, the minute you press confirm, they will ask you again and again, they will show it to you on the screen, what all you will do, who is the payee, what is the amount, etc. So you'll be seeing everything. Literally, what will normally be on a check will be displayed on your mobile screen. Thereafter, you press confirm, which means basically you are instructing the banker to transfer the fund. Once that confirm is pressed, and it happens instantaneously. Why I'm going through this elaborate explanation of something that's very ordinary is, I think it's high time they included that also. See, you are making payments to payments abroad, in which case it will become foreign exchange. Okay, it will become foreign exchange. So what I'm trying to tell you. We'll come to that when at this stage you understand that currency itself includes checks. Okay, so long as it's expressed in Indian currency or in foreign currency. So Indian currency means currency which is expressed or drawn in Indian rupees. The currency that we use in this country is called Indian rupee. There are foreign currencies also, means any currency other than an Indian currency. Friends, this again is a very big damage for cryptocurrency. You cannot call cryptocurrency a currency. That is why they will never get into that. Though publicly they will say cryptocurrency, currency. They will, when it comes to it, they will not use the word currency, because the minute they say currency, it will come under FEMA. And they are caught. The crypto fellows are caught. Okay, the minute they say, because there are limits on how much you can hold. There are prohibitions. We see that. So cryptocurrency, the minute you say, that's it. It becomes a foreign currency. And because it's not an Indian currency, yeah. See, the government of India has not guaranteed it. No government has guaranteed it. It is not a fiat currency. No government has guaranteed the cryptocurrency, which means that it will come under FEMA. That is why it is not. They will never call it cryptocurrency. Rather, at least in India, you should never call it a currency. The minute you do that, you will automatically come under the definition of foreign currency. This is the view expressed not only by me, but by many FEMA experts who have understood, who have studied cryptocurrency. They say, which means to avoid that, they will never call it cryptocurrency. They may call it cryptocurrency in colloquial language, but when it comes to technical terms, they will never use the word currency. Okay, now we come to foreign exchange. Foreign exchange means foreign currency. Okay, basically for foreign exchange and foreign currency. But it also includes, so which means what? Foreign exchange means foreign currency. That means a check expressed in foreign currency is a foreign exchange. A check expressed in foreign currency is a foreign exchange. Right. An instruction given. Your credit card is also an instruction given to your banker, except that when you use a debit card or when you pay from RuPay, it is like a checking account where you are issuing a check on money that you already have. Whereas when you use a credit card, it is like an overdraft where you are using money that you don't have, but somebody is giving it to you as a loan and paying the vendor. And later on, there is a terms and conditions by which you will pay him. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is whether you pay by credit card, whether you pay by RuPay, whether you pay by GPay, whatever pay, it is all basically electronic checks. Okay. So technically, I humbly feel that should come into this foreign exchange framework. As of now, it is not coming. It is not coming. Though even the Negotiable Instrument Act Negotiable Instrument Act talks about electronic check. Okay, but this is not an electronic check. Yeah, there maximum EFT will be covered. Nothing more than that. Okay, I think there is a broader need for a broader, understanding of this topic itself in terms of what could be a check, etc. Now, foreign exchange means foreign currency, which means, I repeat, a draft or check issued by an Indian, drawn on an Indian bank, but expressed in foreign currency is a foreign exchange. It's a check or instruction given to a banker in India to make a payment abroad in foreign exchange in foreign currency is a foreign exchange. And the FEMA applies. That's all I'm trying to tell you. The minute you say foreign exchange, FEMA applies. Rules of FEMA apply. Okay. Which is why cryptocurrency will never get into this. The minute they get in, they are out. They know that. They will never get into this. Okay. And it is also sad to note that this potential scam thing is allowed to continue. See, the cryptocurrency is the next scam waiting to happen. I'm not saying all cryptocurrencies. Okay, it's not that I'm a fool that I don't understand cryptocurrency. I too well know what it is. Okay, which is what we can also easily distinguish the fraudsters, and they are also combining with the genuine. And plus, the concept itself is stupid. The Satoshi Nakamoto's concept itself is stupid, that a currency can work without a fiat support or the governmental support. The anti-governmental people only started this crypto. And there wasn't one single person, though they have one name, Satoshi. There's nobody called Satoshi. So it's a different story totally. And it works because many Americans who are living a useless, carefree life suddenly lost it when the collapse of the financial markets. They didn't try to understand the economic reasons why it happened. They didn't try to understand that they were at fault, that they were the people who did not prepare themselves for such an eventuality. See, because when the global financial meltdown happened, India never got hit very much. No Indian was ever really getting out of the road and homeless or begging in the street and all. Whereas Americans were straight away on the road, homeless, begging, worrying, dying, committing suicide. Whereas nothing happened in India because mindset. So they didn't realize that it was their own carelessness and their own inability to plan for the future that destroyed them. Whereas, so merely changing currency and not depending will not solve the problem. The economy has to, the people have to become responsible, and people have to understand that they have to be financially accountable to themselves. If that doesn't happen, no government can protect you. No government can protect you. No government is bound to protect you from your own greed and foolishness. Same thing was for all the share market scams. The scam that people lost money were greedy people. The greedy people and ignorant. See, two deadly combination lost. The greedy, ignorant. See, at least a smart man is greedy. Let us hope even smart people who are greedy have lost. Their smartness became foolishness. Once they went into the extraordinarily stupid valuations, high valuations, thinking that they can make more money, suddenly the market collapses. This has happened so many times, and still people don't realize. Still, now today you will find so many advertisements for online trading. So many people telling you that the market is good, etc. Go now and buy, not realizing that this is an overvalued market. Okay. Sorry for getting into that, but well, even chartered accountants, our own professionals, they will say, Srikanth, it's a wonderful time to buy this share, buy that share. I'll just laugh and go. Because this is high valuations, attractive valuations. No company is worth the prices that are being quoted in the market today. Why are they going? I'm not bound, or I don't have to explain it to anybody, because it goes. Who can explain market? Nobody can. Nobody should explain. Rather, we can take advantage of it. In case you or I have already invested in 2009 or 2002, we'll be having huge profit now in this market. This is the time to get out. If somebody wants to, it is the time to get out. Not now, maybe 1 or 2 years, 1.5 years later, if somebody doesn't get out, that's it. Anyway, these are views expressed by me. Years of market, and last 60 years. 60 years is a long term. And using that data, I'm saying this is how it is. Now, coming back to foreign exchange is including deposits also, credits and balances, drafts, travelers' checks, letters of credit, everything expressed or drawn in Indian currency, but payable in foreign currency. Reverse, expressed in foreign currency, okay, but payable in Indian currency, whatever it is. Okay, in one word, if I can explain this, or in one word or one phrase, I can explain this, I will give the word cross-border. See, FEMA will not come into play unless there is a cross-border implication. Resident in India paying to another resident in India, FEMA has no application. Okay, no application. Now I'm going to be very careful. Person resident outside India, making a payment to a person resident outside India, I have no connection. I cannot influence. Got it? That's their transaction, and I am not. Indian government cannot do anything. But be careful. Person resident outside India transferring a share in an Indian company cross border. Are you able to see? Both are persons resident outside India. None may even be foreign citizens, but they are transferring a share in a company which is incorporated in India. Person resident in India. Sorry, there is an Indian connection. There is a cross-border implication. FEMA will apply. Rules are there as to what they can do, what they should not do, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So, are you able to understand? There should be cross-border. When I have a bank account in New York, you have a bank account in Boston, and you are transferring to me, both of us are PROI for a moment. Let us become citizens of the US for a moment. And I make a payment to you. How does it matter to the Indian government? But the same thing cannot be told when they are dealing in an asset, which includes a share in an Indian company or property in India. They are dealing with it, even if it is done in foreign currency in a foreign country. Still, tax laws of India will apply one, and FEMA will apply. Okay, I make this point because as a future member of this institute, this is what you need to really understand. When your client comes, first thing they will ask, or when your company is going to get into a transaction, first thing they will ask you is, does FEMA apply? Or what will be the FEMA implication? So you need to be able to advise at a very, very, shall we say, triaging level. Maybe you may not have the expertise to handle it, but at a very, very at a triaging level, we call it. When a casualty case is coming into the ER emergency room, at least you should know what to do immediately and classify it and tell what could be the problem, which department should handle this. So head injury, neuro, like that. Okay, too much blood has flown, then call a cardiodiabologist something. Ask the patient, are you a diabetic? Yes. Instead of a diabetologist, cardiologist. Let them deal with it. So you should know who is important, at least at that level, and you should minimum treatment you should be able to give. That much knowledge, 100% every chartered accountant should possess in every topic. There is no way you are going to go later on and say, Mr. Srikanth, I have forgotten everything I studied. Shame on you, I would say, because till you die, you cannot forget. Till any subject, you have to keep a little bit updated so that at least you will know what it is. And this is expected from the public at large also, just as from doctors and advocates. Minimum knowledge is expected. An advocate cannot go around saying, I don't know. A chartered accountant also has no right or business to say, I don't know. Minimum knowledge. Thereafter, you can always say, I'll check up and get back to you. Or at that time, you can say, boss, I don't specialize in this. So maybe you need to go to somebody who will, which anybody can say. See, no, all doctors need not treat, but minimum treatment, yeah. Minimum, you should be able to say what it is. You can't say, oh no, I'm now in investment banking, Mr. Srikanth. I have totally forgotten. Shame. Okay? Shame. That's all I would say. I'm sorry. Later on, when you become an investment banker, remember what I said. Don't lose touch. How long? In a year, you may have to spend about 30 days. Or, I'm sorry, 50 hours, 60 hours. A little bit of reading and awareness. That's all. Maybe attend CPA seminars conducted by the institute online. Just keep abreast. That's all. So, person definition, I want you to see this is a standard definition. The important point you have to understand is the last one. Any agency, office, or branch owned or controlled by such person. Normally, office or branch will not be a person. Company can be a person, firm can be a person, etc., etc., etc. But an agency or office or branch normally is not a person. But under the FEMA, even a branch or office owned or controlled by a person is a person. Why? Because in the next definition, this will become relevant. Very important definition. Once I cover this, we'll get into problems. Because as part of revision, I'm only supposed to do problems. But without giving this background, if I get into a problem, let us see. But quickly. Because otherwise you'll give wrong answer. Then I have to come back and teach you the right one. So better I give you the right provision. And then we'll go into. Okay. See, basically, the word person resident in India is defined. Under FEMA, we do not use the word non-resident. You might have noticed me consistently using the word person resident outside India, person resident outside India. I consciously did not use the word non-resident. I consciously did not use the word non-resident. Okay. So why? Because that term is not used in FEMA. If you see, ordinary people will use colloquially, but now that you are going to become a member of our institute, be a little more technical. So here we do not use the word non-resident or resident. We use the word person resident in India, person resident outside India. I usually abbreviate it. During this lecture and in some of my slides, you will find the abbreviation PRII, which means person resident in India. Similarly, you will find the abbreviation PROI, which is person resident outside India. Okay. So first we will see PRII. First condition. Okay. In the earlier law, FERA, the stay in India was not taken into account. Or residence in India was not taken. It was more about intention of the person coming to India, going out of India. So, but now they have set a basic foundational condition. They said, did this guy reside in India for more than 180 days during the course of the preceding financial year? So, if I want to find out your residence for 25-26, we are now in the financial year. Financial year definition, same as usual, 1/4 to 31/3. So, if I want to find out your uh, residence, whether you are a person resident in India or a person resident outside India, for 25-26, I will ask you first question. Did you reside in India for more than 180 days during 24-25? You answer yes. You answer yes. Okay. Then automatically I can conclude you are a PRIA. But before that, I ask you one question. Sir, in this year, have you gone out of India? In this year, that is 25-26, have you gone out of India? So, for example, I'm talking to you in September, but you left India in August. You did not stay you resided in India for more than 182 days in the last year, sir. You answered yes. Did you reside for more than 182 days? Yes. So I should technically straight away say PRIA. But then I ask you, sir, did you go out of India during this year? In August I did. I went. For what purpose did you go? That is why I use the word three purposes. Three purposes. They're common for both. Okay. But it will be the reverse. So for a person going out of India, it will be outside India. For a person coming into India, it will be in. That's all. So did you go abroad? Yeah, I did. When did you go? August. Maybe or July or June I went. Oh, why did you go, sir? For what purpose did you go? I went for or on taking up employment outside India. For or on taking up employment or for carrying on outside India, a business or vocation outside India, or for any other purpose in such circumstances as would indicate his intention to stay outside India for an uncertain period. Sir, I got golden visa in Dubai and I went. For what purpose did you go? Sir, I just wanted to check, sir. I want to be there and find out whether I can settle down, whatever it is. So you had no purpose, uncertain period. How long were you planning? No, sir. I just wanted to stay as long as I wanted to and check out. Maybe I'll settle down in Dubai. I've already taken a golden visa. I just go and stay there 6 months. I wanted to see what happens. Okay. Something like that. I'm giving one example only. Whereas when I go to Dubai, I go on a business visa or a tourist visa, 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, clearly, and I will come back. So are you able to understand? A tourist going, even if you have an open visa to the US for 10 years or whatever, still when you go as a tourist, you have to inform how long you'll be there. At that time, when you enter bus, when you go there, they will ask you. Here you will go, but there they will ask you how long you're going to stay. You will not give one number of days. Okay. Indefinite means you get into this. Okay. Now, so actually there are rules. You can't stay as long as you want. At any time, you can't go more than 30 days or something, 45 days or something. You can't do however long you want. Okay. So now, so if for these three purposes, the person has left India, has gone out of India during the previous financial year, then he will become PROI. Are you able to understand? Last year, he stayed for more than 182 days, but during this year, he goes abroad. So, but be careful, till the date he goes abroad, he will be PRIA. The day he leaves for or on taking up employment, business, or uncertain period, from that day he will become PROI, although he resided in India for more than 182 days in the last year. Are you able to understand? So this is one exception. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. And once we do a couple of problems, it will become clear to you. Yeah, it is 182 days. It is 182 days. It is 182 days. Means 182. So more than. So if you stay for exactly 182 days, you are still PA. It is, you are PROI. 183 you have to stay. Or 483. Okay, more than 180. So exactly 182 PROI. 183 PRIA. Is that your doubt? Is your doubt clarified? Tanuji? Yeah. So, coming to the point, that's why in the exam problems, they will ask you 183 days. They will give 183 days. The 183 means more than 182. That is what they are trying to say. Okay. So, now, a person who has come to or stays in India, same, reverse. During the year, this person came. Now, think about it. Last year, they did not reside in India for more than 182 days. Got it? Got it? But they come to India. Again, for one of the three purposes, taking up employment, business or vocation, or any other uncertain period. Now, in those cases, she has a doubt. Sir, if a person stay in India more than, but during the year he is going abroad for employment, then what is his resident status? If a person stay in India for more than 182 days, but during the year he is going abroad. During the year, no, madam, you have to tell which year. See, for finding out whether he is a resident, you check his stay in India in the previous year. In that year, it is not enough. Okay, you have to. So your assumption is that he went abroad for employment, but during this year he stayed for more. Then that will cover only for the next year. For this year, he will be a PR. Why? Because he left India for taking up employment, right? But in the next year, he will answer yes for the question, and he did not leave. Therefore, he will become PRIA in the next year. But this example is rare. That is, when a person leaves India for employment, rarely they will come back and stay for more than 182 days. Okay, or even assuming the man leaves on 31st of March. Think about that example. That is the best example. I mean, sorry, let us take that 31st of March. Think like that is the best example. Now, why 182 days, almost 364 days? Correct. But he leaves India for employment, PROI. Madam, let's understand. 24, 25. A man leaves on 29th March for taking up employment in Canada. Is he PRIA or PROI? You answer. Now that with this background, you answer. We are talking about 24, 25. So in 23, 24, he was staying for more than 182 days in India. But on 29th of March, he leaves India for taking up employment in Canada. PRIA or PROI, you are absolutely correct. For 24, always say financial year. Never tell independently, is he PRI, PROI. No person is a PRIA or PROI, absolutely. It is always with respect to a financial year. Please understand. Never say he is PRIA, sir. He is PROI, sir. No. For which year is PRIA, which year is PROI. Same way in income tax also. Some people will tell me, Mr. Srikanth, I'm a non-resident. Yo, whether you are non-resident or not, I will decide. You tell me how long you stayed, then we will decide. Are you able to understand? The rules are there intricate in Income Tax Act also. Am I correct? You are all experts in income tax. You should know. Section 7, I think. You should be experts in that. Similarly, similar to that. So, never say PRIA, PROI without giving the financial year along with it for so-and-so financial year. So, in your example, for 24, 25, he is a PROI. You are absolutely correct. You have understood the subject correctly. Okay. Same way, during the year, somebody comes in for taking up employment or then any person or body corporate registered or incorporated in India. That's very clear. Friends, be very clear, ma. A Canadian company is having an Indian subsidiary. So we do a lot of work for multinational corporations. See, those who do not want to go to the Big Four come to us because we give the best service, but at the medium rate, not at the MNF rate. So they come to through referrals. They come, and we give them. See, so much advice has to be given. First of all, the bankers will confuse. The bankers don't know, especially the private bank doesn't know anything. Public sector banks will be expert in FEMA, but they won't help. Whereas private sector bank will help, but will put you in deeper shit than anything by helping you, thinking that they are doing some service to you. They will ensure that you violate FEMA. So many cases come to us almost at the ED level only. It will come to me, or at the by the time it will be condemnation, or it will be composition, or whatever it is. Okay. Or luckily, sometimes they'll come to me in a little bit of time. I can go to RBI, get some approval, and come back through the bank only. The bank won't cooperate. We'll come to that a little later. But FEMA is a very, very practical subject. Okay. And it is pathological, where they will come to you with a problem, full-fledged problem. And usually our clients will never have to come to us for FEMA, because my 600 clients, I see to it that they are protected in FEMA. Any action they take, I will see to it that the FEMA implication is also covered and obeyed. So that they will rarely get into problem, except on a very, very fundamental advisory, because the basic time itself, I'll say income tax implication, corporate law implication, FEMA implication. Please do all this and instruct the CFO, instruct the finance team, instruct my SPOC who has to handle this client, and please ensure all this and go. That's it. So they will, but when I get a case, it is maybe a referral case. Some client will tell me, sir, that my friend is there, his auditor is so, but he has a FEMA problem. By the time we listen to that fellow, they are damaged. It's all blood is flowing everywhere. I say, how did you go on? Are you able to understand? Possibly because the member in practice was not equipped to advise, or preferred not to get into it. Okay, so that is one of the reasons why FEMA, you should be very thorough. Okay, even you might tell, sir, this is only for practice. I want to become CFO of multinational company. Okay, but there also your knowledge of FEMA is very much important. But as a CFO, why CFO boss? Even if you're going to be head accounts or manager finance, manager taxation, or whatever it is, there will be so many areas where there will be a FEMA link. You can see the FEMA link there, and you shouldn't blindly advise on taxation or GST and then quietly walk away as if FEMA doesn't exist, and then that is somebody else's problem. It is your problem. Okay, you have to handle that also. If you don't have the expertise, acquire it or share it. Okay. So a point I'm making is, Canadian company has an Indian subsidiary. Now the Indian subsidiary, though it is 100% wholly owned subsidiary of a foreign company, is a person resident in India. You don't have to have any doubt about it. Don't confuse with company law. Company law mein alag definition hai. Do not confuse. That definition is meant for a different purpose. Okay, foreign company, blah blah, etc. Company incorporated outside India, blah blah. Okay, that you will study possibly in final when you go for self-paced module. On your own, when you study, you will study it. But now, be clear. If it is incorporated in India, it is PRIA. Also, a branch, office or branch, you saw that now? Office, branch or agency in India is a person. Such a branch or office or agency in India, owned or controlled by a PRY. Owned or controlled by a PRY. So, PRY is controlling a branch. But where is the branch? Branch is in India. Therefore, it is a PRII. Note it, your honors. Very important. It is controlled by a person resident outside India, sir. That's why it's a PROI, sir. No, it is a PRII. Reverse. Branch or agency outside India. You are setting up a foreign branch in Singapore, owned or controlled by an Indian company or an Indian person resident in India. Then it is a PRII. Are you able to understand this? Both cases. Again and again, what did I say? I wrote one word here, na? Cross-border. If there is a link with India, we pull you here. Our law applies. You tell us what you're doing. Why are you doing it? Because we are a sovereign democratic republic. We have to protect our economic integrity. Which is why, today, once FEMA came, PMLA, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, they strengthened. So the powers of the ED under PMLA are like almost like police officer. They can arrest you and then only talk. They can do anything. Whereas under FEMA, it is professional. So you decide the line which you are going to cross. But always in certain transactions, the ED will suspect that there is a PMLA. Many cases that I handle are like that, where there is no money laundering. But the idiots have done so much nonsense that it looks like money laundering. If they had only done it correctly, it would have not even come in the ED radar. But they will do all nonsense and only come. Partly advised by the banker, partly advised by some stupid person who is in their own company, sheer ignorance or owner's arrogance. The owner says, don't do, don't talk, do. Like that. See, if a client tries that stunt with me, I'll tell him, boss, I'll remind him of Karna. See, Shalya was there, he was the charioteer of Karna. And so Shalya told Karna, do not go there. I will not take the chariot there because it is muddy. It is swampy area where you will get caught. Please listen to me. So Shalya was like a trusted advisor, a chartered accountant or an advocate who is advising. What did Karna do? Like the MD of that company, he told, go there, do what I say. I said, Karo, like that. So Shalya said, you are doing a stupid thing. I will take you there, but if anything goes wrong, I will walk away. Is exactly what happened. They go there, the chariot wheel gets caught. Shalya simply walks out of the battlefield. And he was justified in doing that. Because I have sufficiently warned you. Of course, you and I, we cannot do that. We have to continue to be with the client and help him to get out. It has happened many cases for some arrogant clients where they do this and then they get caught. Then I tell them, they just go and sit in the meeting room itself. They'll be, sorry, Srikanth, sorry, you told at that time itself, you told, right, boss, now let's see what can be done to get you out of the problem. Okay. So, in fact, once or twice this experience, they rarely open their mouth after that. Srikanth, whatever you say, sir, we will do. If Srikanth sir says it cannot be done, it cannot be done. Why I give these personal examples to you is not to boast about myself, but to tell you the role that a chartered accountant should and can play. This is the role of a trusted advisor, of an authority on the subject, of bringing common sense, experience, and knowledge. If you cannot combine these three, then you are a highly well-read person. That's all. Think about it. You are a highly well-read person, knowledgeable person. We salute you. But if common sense and experience is not combined with it, sorry. So, with this, you have well understood PRIA. Correct. And so some of the thing is there. So, such person will become PRY for that financial year, even if his stay in India is more than 182 days. Okay, when he goes out. Okay, please understand. However, a person may go out of India during the current year. Note it, Your Honors. I have clearly put in red. Now I am going to further highlight it for you. During the current year. Okay. Right? So, a person who comes to India as a tourist for other reasons, where his stay is for a period, will not be considered as a resident, even if his stay in India is for more than 182 days. Please understand, you should come as a tourist with a certain period. Suppose it is uncertain, then none. PRY means a person who is resident outside India, who is not a PRIA. Okay? Yep. One who is not PRIA, PRY. So, you first decide whether he is PRIA. If he is escaping PRIA, automatically he is PRY. Citizenship is not relevant for determining residential status. So you may be a citizen of a foreign country, but you may become a person resident in India. You may be an Indian citizen, but you can become a person resident outside India. For FEMA. Which is why, whenever somebody comes to me and says, Mr. Srikanth, I'm a non-resident, no tax, simply laugh. Okay, we will decide whether you have tax or not. Thank you. And we'll first of all decide whether you are a non-resident for the relevant assessment year. And then we will decide whether you are taxable in India or abroad. Because there are intricate rules Once I say that you are a person, you are a non-resident, even then double taxation avoidance agreement is there. Section 9 is there. I have to see whether this will come under 9. Srikant, I'm non-resident, no tax. Okay, thank you. See, that is, and that too, they will give he will send a forward in WhatsApp from some Google site, some nonsense well would have written, or maybe what he wrote was relevant for that example and which doesn't apply to this man. Simply that he'll take the last line and he'll say, so see, it doesn't apply. So, where a person comes to India for one of the three purposes, he'll be considered as PRII from the date of arrival in India. Okay. Now, I have given you enough and more inputs. Okay. Now, I need you to answer this first question. Your answers are welcome. I will not give answer. In fact, see this 183 days. The idea is more than 182 days. Okay. The idea is more than 182 days. Here also they use the words very carefully. Okay. Please answer the first question. You have to give the answer. Of course, in this topic, you don't have to write elaborate answers. Hopefully in the exam you will write, but here you need not. Here just see, please see 1920, 2021. Information is given about 2018, 19 and 1920. Correct? So 1819 will be relevant for 1920 and 1920 will be relevant for 2021. And also his behavior during those relevant financial years. Based on this, kindly give me your answer. Let us take up only first Mr. Ram, then Krishnan. First Ram. Okay, Almas, I thank you for your immediate response. And I also thank you for your, detailed answer, giving reason. But let's wait for some more answers. The question is 1920 and 2021, Ushi. It's for 1918, 1920 and 20. See, his residence in India for 1819 is relevant for 1920, not for 1819. Okay, how about 2021? And do you notice any answer that you give, I'm happy that you're combining it with an year. If simply you type PRI, what does it mean? (1920), Mr. Ram. Okay. Okay. See, please remember this. I hope I will again show it to you. During the current year, both coming to India and going out of India, during the current year. Okay. During the current year. Okay. Some more, I'm just thinking some more answers. If I can have some more answers, it will be good. Others can also answer. I'm not able to give correct answer with who is right, who is wrong, for two reasons. One is your answers themselves need more explanation. For example, Kushi Gupta is giving for 1819 when the question is 1920, 2021. Okay. What does it mean? She has not read the question. In this class, if she does not read, she can get angry with me and go. But in the exam, if she does it, that is my fear as a teacher. You understand? If I point out, she'll get angry with me here. But in the exam, I'm worried about that. Okay, let us see. Now, 1920, we have to see 1819 ka data. As you have rightly identified, Mr. Ram had resided in India during the financial 1819 for less than 183 days. Okay, so he went abroad. So most of you are clear. 1920 PRY, 2021 PRA. Okay, let us see. So for 1819, less than 182 days. But he again came to India on 1st May 2019 for higher studies and business and stayed up to 15th July 2020. Okay, 15th July 2020. Now, friends, less than 183 days alone will you take? Should you also not see that he came to India during when? During 1920. He came to India during 1920. For what? Of course, higher study is not one of the three purposes. Higher studies is not one of the three purposes. Sorry. Higher studies is not one of the, but business is one of the three purposes. So during the financial year, he came to India, though he stayed for less than 182 days outside in India in 1819. If he had not come to India for business, then your answer that he is PROI would be correct. He came to India for higher studies, correct? And he stayed. Okay. And he stayed up to, that doesn't matter, he came. So up to 1st May, means up to 30th April, he is PRY. Are you able to understand? Up to 30th April, he is PRY. But 1st May onwards, because he came to India for business, he becomes PRII for 1920. Vidushi is writing, resident in, madam, you should learn to write PRII. You should learn to write PR, person resident in India, person resident in India. Please. Okay. Because if suppose the paper corrector is an idiot like me, who is expecting correct answer, person who write, whether they are writing like that. Because resident also we can accept it. But suppose you write non-resident, you are way out. Non-resident is not a word used in FEMA. Okay. PRY only is used. I may sound very silly when I make these comments, but believe me. Some students will ask, sir, why it happened? Why it happened? So many reasons why it can happen. Maybe you are intelligent, but that intelligence should be reflected in that paper. Nobody questions your intelligence. Everybody is intelligent, but that intelligence should be reflected in that paper in clear, unambiguous answers, which are not only correct, well presented and clear. Okay. This is the real problem. But for that, everybody can clear CA exam. Why should they not? You are all knowledgeable, highly intelligent people. Why should you not? But presentation, logic, the language, of course, to an extent, even though it may be ungrammatical, it should be logical. Okay, so answer 1920 PRII, because he came to India for business. Of course, during that year, 1920, he stayed for more than 182 days in India. Therefore, 2021 PRII. 2021 PRII, correct. 1920 PROI. Are you clear about the answer I gave? So both the years is a PRII is the correct answer. Of course, one important point is missing in this problem, which is why he stayed up to 15th July 20 now. Up to 15th July 20 now. what did he do after that? Did he disappear? Did he go to, straight away to Paramapadam? What happened? That information is missing. Okay. So, assuming that he went abroad, it cannot be for the three purposes, because if on 15th July, he had left India for taking up employment or business, etc., then for 2021, he will become PROI. But information is not given here. You can't assume it. So we will ignore it and say, since during financial year 1920, he stayed for more than 182 days, he is a PRIA for 2021. Okay. But 1920, he is a PRY. Have you understood? Do you agree? Or still some of you feel, no, sir, when I have told an answer, how I can be wrong, sir? It's correct. When you have given an answer, you cannot be wrong. But sometimes if you are wrong, what to do? So, boss, secret is simple. Make all your mistakes before the exam. How? How? By writing. No, Vidushiji, given the information in this problem, 2021 book answer PRIA only correct. But suppose he leaves India for one of the three purposes, then he will become PRY for 2021. Okay. One more thing you have to understand. If I were writing this answer, I would write one line there clearly. It is presumed that he left India on 16th July for the purpose which is not one of the three purposes, or he did not leave for taking up employment, business, or for an uncertain period. If you write that, that is that. You are hammering the nail. The examiner has to keep his mouth shut and give you marks. See, even if your answer is wrong, if your logic is there, now, examiner has to keep his mouth shut, because after all, the problem itself is not incomplete. You have not given me any information. What did he do on 16th July? As I said, did he go abroad? Did he disappear? Did he go to Burma Badam straight away? What happened? If nothing is given, I will presume that he didn't go, or maybe he went for a holiday, whatever. He stayed up to. After that, what happened? I don't know. Okay. So PRIA is the correct answer, not PRY. I think, Vidushi, I hope you are clear, madam. As it is PRIA, in case he leaves India on 16th July for some purpose which is one of the three purposes, then only PRY. Right? We have finished Rama. Now let us finish Krishna. No, I don't mean something else here. Don't get me. Don't mistake me. So, no. Answer 2. Mr. Kishan resided in India during the financial year 1819. Resided means for more than 182 days. If you have a doubt, please write it in the answer. When you're writing, write. It is presumed that for financial year 2018-19, Mr. Kishan resided in India for more than 182 days. He left India on 1st August 2019 for United States of pursuing higher studies. What would be his residential status 1920 and 2021? Anybody can give the answer on the query plan. I think it's a straightforward answer. See, once he left India on 1st August, he never came. He was studying there. Mr. Kishan, he is staying for less than 180 days, but he's going abroad. Huh? He didn't stay for less than 182 days, madam. More than 182 days. 1819 May, more than 182 days. 1920, less than 182 days. Your answer is correct. 1920 is a PRIA, but your reasoning is wrong. You understand? Your answer is correct. For 1920, Kishan is a PRIA. because he stayed in India for more than 182 days during 1819. He went out of India, not for three purpose. Higher studies, not to three purpose. Okay? Because it is not listed here. See, higher studies, is it employment? Is it business? Or any uncertain period? No. See, today, fellows studying in US, they know. Uncertain or certain, they know. So they are clearly coming on a visa, student visa. They can't stay. That visa permits them a little time to go around. That's all. Then Shine Punye, Madhyalogam Vishanti. Once your Punyam is over, you have to come back from America to dirty bloody India. What to do? Okay. So, okay, I take back dirty bloody India, but then that is why they went now. They thought this is dirty bloody country. That is why they went. Now they have to come back. See, I already told you, I think, Janani Janma Bhumi. Your country is the greatest place. Why go abroad? Why are you so unfit that you cannot survive in your own country? You have to go and be a slave in some other country. That is my view, expressed very clearly. That is why I never went abroad. You mean to say, I have got an all India rank in CA. After that, you mean to say I could not have written the GMAT? I could not have done an MBA in the US? Usually, 1987. No way. Janani Janmabhumi. So, of course, tourist I go many times. I'll be going to America also. But as a slave, I won't go. Okay. So Kishan resided in India during financial year 1819. He left India on 1st August 19 for United States. So for 1920 PRII. 2021 PRY. That's how. Why PRY? Because basic condition, he said he didn't reside in India for more than 182 days in 1920 because he was studying abroad. So he is a PRY. Okay. Sir, 2021, how he becomes PRIA, Mr. Manivannan? Because he satisfies the basic criteria. Na? Your basic question, what you're asking, did you reside in India for more than 182 days during the immediately preceding financial year? Answer, Kishan, no. In 1920, no. So 2021, he is a PRI. Okay. But 1920, he is a PRI. Got it? So that is the reason. Tannu, again, look at your answer. You are saying he is staying for less than 182 days. In which year? Sorry to be so boring and irritating, but everything should be clearly stated. Okay. So, answer. Kishan resided in India during financial year 1819 for more than 182 days. Thereafter, he left India in 1920, but not for one of the three purposes. Therefore, he is a PRIA. Once he went abroad, he never came to India. Therefore, in financial year 1920, he did not reside in India for more than 182 days. Therefore, he is not a PRIA. If he is not a PRIA, he is automatically a PRY. That's all. Okay. Finally, this Miss Elia is given in your institute material only. It is an interesting case study. Before that, let us see the answer. Thank you, Mr. Manivannan. 1920 total days in India. Okay, you are really great. I appreciate what you're saying. Okay, I appreciate what you're saying. 1920, that's right. Less than 182 days in that. He left India on 1st August. You keep counting. You are getting 122 days. You don't have to count. Yeah, it's obviously less than 182 days. Anyway, you counted. I'm happy for you. So happy for you. Okay. So believe me, reasoning is important and also answer is important. Both ways. Okay. Good show, Ma. Good show. See, you might think that Srikanth is being a little rude, a little crude. I'm consciously doing it, my dear friends. I'm doing it like a coach. Okay. We'll do it before the match. See, before the match, you cannot play games. You cannot have, cry on my shoulder, sympathy and all. You want to pass, you only took this challenge. Who told you to come and do CA? You only decided. And there is a way of doing it that I can teach you. But you can't expect I want to do, but without doing the right method. Then good show, Tanuji. Good show. Good show. See, my humble request to you all, spend a little more time in writing practice. Take one old question paper. Ideally, I'll tell you which question papers you have to take. Now you're going to write in September, right? This is another confusion now. Earlier, there were only 2 papers. So my patterns were now all the pattern is disturbed. I have to again start doing it and understand the pattern. I don't know the current patterns. Okay, but assume there is a pattern. Go for last year, September. If there is an exam, write that paper. Because invariably, September to September, they will ask. Some questions will come. I'm not joking. It happens. I'm letting out a secret. I'm letting the cat out of the bag. Why? Because as I'm setting, anybody setting the paper, yeah. You'll take some of the older papers and see. So September to September, I will ask. Okay, they were asked. It was asked in May. It was asked in January. Not asked. September, it was asked. Chalo, ask now. So last September paper and last May paper. These 2 papers you work out on your own without seeing the book. As if in the exam condition, 3 hours, write it. Then take the side answer ruthlessly, as if you are the examiner. Correct yourself. Don't have sympathy for yourself. Correct it with a reading. Wherever you have gone wrong, mark it and see what you have made wrong. Believe me, after 2 papers you have written, your performance will improve like anything. So, try it. Don't simply say, you don't know anything, get out like that. Before dismissing me, try it once at least and then tell me whether it's working. Why should you need a coaching class to give you question paper and all that? You can be your own. See, many people, when they come for I used to run a coaching class for the AC's Institute, not private. I was part of the institute, PPP, Public Private Partnership, and Blue Dot Academy. The first thing the student will ask, sir, will you give test paper? Will you give test paper? He said, I will teach you the subject, man. That's my job. Test paper, why you want to ask me? I will give you the hall whenever you want, you come. I'll put the AC also for you. Sit. I'll give you table, chair, paper, pen also. I'll give you, question paper. You have so many question papers. Take it. Right. You yourself correct it. That is the best way. If suppose I correct it also, you will not know where you went wrong. You correct it. You, such answer hai na, answer hai, which is what the institute is expecting. What you have written is there. Check. How difficult is this? Do it. Okay. Don't expect somebody to correct and give you feedback. What nonsense. Who can give better feedback than you? Okay. So think about it. Miss Elia is an air hostess with the British Airways. She flies for 12 days in a month. Thereafter takes a break for 18 days. Wow, what a life. During the break, no, it's not like that. Believe me. No air hostess can live like that, especially Indigo and SpiceJet. I know those girls are, especially SpiceJet. Whenever I used to travel with SpiceJet, I used to talk to these girls and all. They are very friendly. And some of them will, after some time, they realize this fellow is a nice guy and they'll talk, especially on long hauls. Sometimes to save money, I'll go from Chennai to Ahmedabad via Delhi. And it will be a long haul. Sometimes we won't get a flight. You have to go like that. So from here to Bangalore, Pune, Delhi, Ahmedabad. Once I went, whole day I traveled, like bus, full day travel. Okay, landing and take off. By the time I reached Delhi, I became very close friend with these girls. And they used to tell their life story to me. Then when I reached Ahmedabad, they said, why sir, like that. So it's a tough job. Believe me when I say that. Legs will go. Okay. Where it goes now, everything it will be a problem for them. What to do? Okay. So Elia is an air host, but if they like it, it's good. Miss Elia is an air hostess with the British Airways. She flies for 26. Point is, technically, she has accommodated at Mumbai for more than 182 days. What would be her residential status? Let us see what your answer is for Elia. I think I won't wait for your answer because it is there in the institute material only. See, the technical point here is, did she come to India for one of the 3 purposes? No. Okay. She did not. More importantly, Did she reside in India for more than 182 days? No. She only stayed. Okay, she was not having a permanent residence in India. That is the thing. Even assuming you say she came to India, then also we will say, no. She didn't come to India for taking up, for or on taking up employment. She came in the course of employment. She came. Similarly, when business travelers going abroad will not automatically become PROA, even if they stay, because they are not going for carrying on a business. They are carrying on the business in India. In connection with it, they are going. Similarly, Alia is not coming to India for or on taking up employment. She is coming to India in the course of her employment. So therefore, even though she stayed for more than 180 days, it won't be considered as a residence. Two reasons. One, she did not maintain a permanent residence. Permanent address is not there. Okay. Two, she came only in the course of employment and not for or on taking up employment. Therefore, she continues to be a PROI. It is the answer. Okay. Now, Printex Computer is a Singapore-based company. This is a very, very simple, easy question. Kindly give me the answer. And easily repeated 3 times. With change in the name, that's all. Change in the name, that's all. This is relating to branch. What would be the residential status under FEMA of printer manufacturing unit in Pune and Dubai branch? I will not read the problem. You read it and you give me the answer. Because even by reading it, I might give you the clue. So your answer can be very simple. Pune, Dubai. Pune, what is it? PRI or PRI? Dubai, PRI or PRI. That's all. You don't have to be elaborate. By now, you are very thorough with how to write elaborate answers. How long it will take? 2 minutes, yeah? There you go. Time to type. Sir, Pune, Dubai. Santosh, I'm happy. The PRIA, what? Dubai is PRIA. Okay, got it. Pune? Pune is also PRIA. Pune, PRIA. Because Pune is PRIA and the Pune is the controlling the Dubai branch. Dubai also PRIA. Yes, Dubai is also PRIA. Pune also PRIA. Tanuji, again you are using words that are not in FEMA. Place of business in India. That's what I'm saying. Do not confuse with company law, which is again out of your syllabus also. Maybe you read it somewhere else, or maybe in income tax. Place of business in India, no. Owned or controlled by. Please note. See, I'm looking for those words when I'm correcting. If the student gives the wrong words also, even if she is correct, I'm supposed to give her 3 marks. I'll give 2. I don't give 3. That 1 mark I will withhold. Because why she is writing place of business? That is not the way it is. Which means your answer should include this. An office or branch or agency outside India, owned or controlled by a person resident in India, is a person resident in India. Now you link it and you say the Dubai office is branch in Dubai is controlled by the headquarters in Pune. Therefore, the Dubai branch is a person resident in India. Of course, Branch in India, controlled by a person resident outside India, is a person resident in India. Therefore, the Pune printer unit in Pune, okay, the unit for manufacturing computer printers in Pune, since it is controlled by a person resident outside India, is a person resident in India. Then this, okay, you might think I'm being a little too silly. I'm not. I'm only protecting you from your own mistakes. Don't get angry with me. See, what is the wording in this law? Does this law use the word place of business? No. Don't confuse. Place of business, alage. Maybe in transfer pricing we can use. Maybe even in transfer pricing we don't use. In company law we use. In company law, incorporated outside India, having a place of business in India. Yes. Okay. We use. There we use. I'm not saying this is not a technical term. I'm saying this term is not used in this law. Okay. Mr. L was employed as a fashion designer in Elegant Textile Limited, a public limited company in Gurugram, India. Okay, during the financial year 23-24. Wow, before also she's writing answer. You okay. Just joking, yeah. See, sometimes I'll talk like that. Don't. I know you're not angry. No, why would you get angry with that? See, I'm assuming. See, because I've noticed that most people, when they are told that they are wrong, are upset. Because right from childhood, father, mother, everybody has told, nah, you are such a correct person. You are told everything correctly, like that. Whereas my father, from day one, used to say, you're a fool, you're an idiot, you don't know anything. Therefore, I became more and more intelligent. Of course, I didn't use the same thing with my son, but rather I will tell my son, look at it from all angles. Look at it from all angles. Don't come to a conclusion immediately. Okay. This I told both my children. Look at it from all angles. Do not form one opinion and stick most dangerous thing that can happen. See, Ravan, what happened? He's such an intelligent man, 10 heads, which means what? 10 types of intelligence he had. Such a man with so much intelligence. One foolish mistake. He refused to let go. Okay. See, if you look at it from symbolic angle, na, Sita is nothing but a concept. Yes, he got it wrong. Everybody is telling him, don't do this, don't do this. He's not listening. Everybody in the coming is telling, Vibhishan is telling, Angada is telling, Hanuman himself is telling, Hanumanji is telling, one chance, let it go, send her now, finish it. Don't die. For this, don't die. But what he does, foolishly holds on to that one thought. No, no, no. Finally, when Indrajit dies, he himself realizes what I have done is wrong. But by then it's too late. He is unable to get out. So he continues in that and he dies. I'm just giving this example, not as that you are doing. But whenever we make that one simple mistake, not we are refusing to come out of it and unlearn, learn, relearn. We are then what happens? Oh, sir, why I failed in the exam? I don't know, sir. Because, sir, you are not able to think completely, sir. Because you are taking one point of view, writing the answer, and then not willing to change, sir. That's all I can tell, sir. Okay. Go on now. This one. Mr. L was employed as a fashion designer in Elegant Textile Limited, a public limited company in Gurugram, India, during the financial year 23-24. He had efficiently provided his services for 183 days. See, whether he did it efficiently or not, I don't care. See, these are all given to confuse you. Even if he was not efficient, what is the botheration? What is relevant here? Number of days and purpose for which it comes. That's all. See, this 183 is very crucial. Okay, because more than 182 days. That's all they're trying to tell you. So that is why somewhere somebody saw 183. So she got confused, thinking that it is 183. It is not. It is 182. That is why 183, more than. Ah, thank you. Thank you, Sridhar. Bye. நான் அப்புறம் வரேன்.
Jewelry आपको 1200
My daughter came to give me breakfast because I'm staying alone in Coimbatore. My wife is in Chennai. So that is why. Fellow was employed in Gurugram. Then he decided to move this PARIS. In Chennai, we have PARRYS, Paris. This is Paris. Jeff Fashion Limited. One he leaves. 2-4 he. Solomon Grundy got job on Monday, left India on Tuesday. So Solomon Grundy got job on Monday, left India on Tuesday. Got pink slip on Wednesday, came back to India on Thursday. This is the story of Solomon Grundy. Anyway, just joking. See that. See, on 34, 2024, he flew back to India for a 10-day family function in Manali. Again, there is a place in Chennai called Manali. But we shall presume that this is Manali, which is in Himachal Pradesh. Beyond Kulu Valley, you have to climb a little bit more to reach Manali. The Bias River flows in that area. Residential status on his return for attending the family function on 34. I think it's fairly easy, na? Beautiful, Almas. Hats off. The way you have written the answer is beautiful, like a poetry you have written. Even though on 34, 2024, Mr. L has not stayed in India for less than 100 days, still he will be considered PRO since he went to India for employment purpose. Beautiful. No, see, he left India on 2-4. So the minute he left India, he'll be PRIA for one day, April Fool's Day, he's PRIA. After that, he's PROI. Now he comes back. That's the point. Problem is he comes to India. See, this is a case where he does both. He goes out of India for employment, comes back or comes to India, not for employment. As Almas has written, if he came for family function, he is PROI. If he came for employment, he will be PRIA. It reads like a poem. In both cases, he is PRIA. Correct. You are all beautiful. Now you have understood residential status. I'm so happy for you. Take up some more suggested answer questions. Lick BJ. Right. Okay, right. Now, one more maybe problem. Okay. But in case he's coming for employment, PRIA. But if he's only for function, PRIA. Absolutely correct. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, this is section 3, which is the basic section. See, section 3 is the heart of FEMA, which prohibits any transfer of foreign exchange between people otherwise than through an authorized person. Okay? You're not supposed to directly give money to anybody, foreign exchange or a foreign currency, or without going through a bank. Authorized person means bank. Authorized persons are banks and money changer. Okay? Money changer. For example, sir, I'm going to Singapore. Okay. You go to one good friend here, give him money, cash, Indian money. You go to Singapore, his friend comes and gives you Singapore currency. Section 3 violation. Of course, money laundering. Sir, we are only doing it for, sorry, Section 3. You are not allowed to deal or transfer any foreign exchange or foreign security to any person not being an authorized person. Similarly, receive otherwise than through an authorized person any payment by or on behalf of a person resident outside India in any manner. So, nothing. Okay? Right? Also, you Indian citizens cannot acquire, hold, own, possess, or transfer any foreign exchange, foreign security, or immovable property abroad. So you cannot. But within the framework of FEMA, you can. First of all, prohibited it. Which is why India is not a fully open economy. See, such a prohibition is not there in European Union. Such a prohibition is not there in USA. You can do anything you want. You can hold in Swiss Bank also. But an Indian cannot. You can do it only with the approval of the Reserve Bank of India through an authorized person. That is allowed. Through an authorized person, you do anything you want because authorized person is bound by RBI. And you will understand the framework here. The Reserve Bank of India, under the Ministry of Finance, controls foreign exchange. Then the banks, some of the designated branches of banks become authorized person. They monitor foreign exchange. So any branch which is receiving any foreign exchange transaction has to directly report to the exchange control department of its bank. Usually they have a regional office. Some of the smaller guys have only Bombay office or head office. Whatever it is, there will be one fellow sitting there who knows FEMA in and out. That guy will be an expert in FEMA, I'm telling you. When he retires, he'll become a FEMA consultant. Okay. But sitting in Bombay or whatever, he'll be eating curd rice and he'll be telling what is the law. Whatever he tells, only this branch manager will tell you. So that is why sometimes when I go to meet for some of these smaller banks, Kotak Mahindra and all, I tell them, boss, just move. Tell me who that guy is. I will talk to him directly. Mr. Venkatraman or Subramanian, whoever it is, I will talk to him directly. You just move a little. So that branch manager also will see that he doesn't have the expertise to handle my questions. Every time he has to go and ask that guy in Bombay or head office. So he tell, okay, sir. And he will directly give me the number. Then I will call up that guy and ask, okay, what is your problem, man? No, it is like that. All misrepresented by the branch. I said, it is not like that. This is what we are planning to do. Oh, is it so, Mr. Srikanth? That was not told to me. Now I'm telling you, boss, you told me what to know. No. That is different. We can go through FCTRS itself. You fill up and send, okay, boss, I'll send it. Then immediately I'll send it back. He put a job and that's the end of the story. Why I'm telling, why break my head with the branch manager who knows next to nothing about FEMA? But initially, he won't accept. Slowly, we have to convince that guy, you just move away, ma. Directly, I'll go to your head office and I'll talk to them. That is easier, faster. Okay. Once he sees the expertise in you, he will allow. Because he cannot answer your questions. he cannot reply to your points. And he can't also refuse the transaction for a flimsy reason. 1, 2. He has to get it done because his customer will move. See, many times I've told, this bank cannot handle this transaction. Why this bank? We'll go to some other bank. Okay, and we'll move. So through bank only it has to be done. Of course, in a limited way, money changers are also authorized person. But they can only buy and sell foreign currency. That's all. They are money changers, right? They will buy, sell. So you want to go abroad within the limit prescribed. And under this section, you can hold. Okay, $2,000 you can hold. Each individual. I think it's $5,000 now. $5,000 you can hold in your house per person. So if you are in 4 people, $20,000 you can hold, not more than that. Okay, this limit will be increased, but there is a limit. You cannot keep dollar to any amount in your locker. First of all, where did you get it from? Secondly, violation of FEMA. Okay, why did you get it from? Hawala for an PMLA. Possibly CBI also will come. Okay. Chalo. Point is, the principle operating is the funds belong to the person, but the forex belongs to the government of India, right? In those days, we were short of forex. Therefore, government was rationing it. So even if you wanted to import, you have to go to the RBI and get approval. Now, thanks to Manmohan Ji, thanks to Narasimha Rao Garu, we are surplus. So you are allowed to go abroad and invest. Later on, when we come to current account transaction, you will see that liberalized remittance scheme is there. They say, take the money and go, take it, because they are holding it. What am I doing? Take it. do something abroad, go for ODI, overseas direct investment. Now that is being encouraged. Some great examples are there. Tata made one mistake for us, but he corrected it extraordinarily well. Ratan Tata ji went for JLR. JLR was a huge win for as a foreign investment. Okay. One of the good examples of ODA. There are many good examples. Of course, for every 4 good examples, there are 6 useless money laundering or useless activities. That's what I've seen. People take money outside India, not believing some foreigner, they invest, lose it. Then that is where the problem starts. That's when they come to me. And then, did you go through ODA route? No. I went there. I had some cash with me, Mr. Srikanth. I invested. Oh, okay. Then come. You're in deep shit. Come. We'll talk about. Similarly, without FCGPR, they will bring into India. Then when they want to sell and take the money, repatriation, I will ask, sir, where is the FCGPR? What FCGPR? Nothing. We have to go and start again. Okay, now the general principle, we are going to now get into current account transaction, capital account transaction. General principle, current account transactions freely permitted unless specifically prohibited. Okay, freely permitted. Capital account transactions prohibited unless specifically permitted. So, current account transactions, we have to see what are the ones that are prohibited or controlled. Not some are prohibited, but some are not prohibited, but controlled. There is a control on capital account transaction prohibited unless specifically permitted. So section 6 is there. You have to read it. What are all the capital account transactions? Then I'm not going to teach it today because it's revision class, but you have to read section 6, which gives all the capital account transactions. List is there. All are actually prohibited unless specifically permitted. Some are specifically permitted, like ECB, that is not in your syllabus. Okay, FDI, ECB, these are all specifically permitted. Okay, so now I'm going to have a small break. You can also have a breakfast or something and come. Small break. Sir, small break, sir. Welcome back from your well-deserved break. Now, moving on. Current account transactions. So we said current account transactions are freely permitted. So if you name it, you can do it. So, but some transactions have control. So basically, current account transaction is not defined. Current account transaction means a transaction other than a capital account transaction. So capital account transaction defined. Current account transaction not defined. Okay. So, but still they give some examples. Any payment in connection with foreign trade. Say you're importing chemicals, freely permitted, pay. You are taking a consulting service from abroad, pay, freely permitted. You can make the payment in foreign exchange. No problem, no control. Just have to go to the bank, get A2 form, fill it. Purpose has to be given. You give bill. Maybe they will ask you to give the proof, some pro forma invoice or bill or whatever. If you are importing, they will also expect you to submit the. Once the goods are imported and received in India, there will be bill of entry. These are documentation. Obviously, otherwise, you simply they will send money abroad. Yeah. So that control will be there. No need to get any permission. You want to buy chemicals for your factory, right? Simply place an order. They ask them to send a pro forma invoice. Take it to your banker. Usually, they can even open an LC for you. Whatever facilities you have. Then make the payment advance, and then get the goods, import, bill of entry. Or if you already imported it, show the bill of entry, make the payment. Similarly, receiving money from abroad. No problem. If your services or goods being exported, again, you have to route it through the bank. The bill has to be routed through the bank, and the money has to come through the bank. Okay? You can't directly receive it. You have to come only through the bank. These are all small things. All these are current account. Any P&L item, if it will come in your P&L, it is current account. Interest on loan. Loan is capital account. Interest is current account. Got it? Of course, there is a very, very esoteric point that you might want to know. See, when you pay the interest, it is current account. But on 31st December, when you credit it in the account, it becomes capital account. Because that becomes a liability. Na? So technically, if you pay, it is current account. Okay? Of course, you are permitted to do it. You can credit interest and pay it later. I'm just giving an example. Crediting, once you credit it in the balance sheet, see, you credit interest. You debit interest, credit interest payable. Na? That interest payable will go to balance sheet liability side. Na? Non-current, current liability. Or non-current liability. Then that is a liability. That when you obtain the loan, everything will be approved in one shot, including crediting and all that. Okay. But that is a separate procedure, boss. It's a very elaborate. It's very difficult to get a loan from abroad. ECB. Okay. External commercial borrowing. Elaborate rules are there. Okay. Remittances for living expenses of parents, spouse, and children residing abroad. Expenses in connection with foreign travel, education, medical care. They are examples, not exhaustive. If you have one more, we have to see. First check with the capital account transaction. If not, then it is a current account transaction. So for which I should define capital account, which I will do a little later, because from the exam point of view, current account transaction, very, very important, frequently tested. Means you will have to know these three schedules. Remember, rule 3, rule 4, rule 5. Write it down. Rule 3, rule 4, rule 5. Then put arrow mark. Rule 3, schedule 1. Rule 4, schedule 2. Rule 5, schedule 3. That's all. Rule 3, schedule 1. Rule 2, schedule 2. Rule 3, schedule 3. And so rule 4, schedule 2. Rule 5, schedule 3. 3 schedules, 3 rules. And remember, these are rules made by the central government, not by the Reserve Bank of India. Prohibition is directly by the central government, Ministry of Finance. Straight away, they're prohibited. Whereas approvals and all you will see are basically by Reserve Bank of India or the ministry. Okay. So these rules are made by the Ministry of Finance. So RBI doesn't take that policy decision. What current account transaction to prohibit is central government decision. Central government may make reasonable. It can bring about reasonable Okay. The central government may make reasonable controls. Okay. Reasonable restrictions. Reasonable. The reasonable is very, very important. You can't just like that say you can't do this, you can't do that. So remittance out of lottery winnings, I'll quickly run through it. Remittance of lottery winning, you win a lottery in India, spend it in India, you can't take it abroad. Remittance of income from racing, riding, any other hobby, you spend it in India. Purchase of lottery ticket, banned, proscribed magazines, football pool, you want to send abroad? No. Okay, you go to Ireland, you see Irish sweepstakes are there. You have to predict that winning teams every week. And the one who has predicted completely will win the sweepstake. Okay, so many people do it. Gamblers do it. So later on, the gentleman comes back to India. Still, he wants to play Irish sweepstakes. So he can't send euro. No, prohibited. You try it. You take your credit card and try to do a prohibited transaction. It won't allow. Your bank which issued the card will put a pop-up. This transaction is prohibited, therefore not possible. Okay. Similarly, payment of commission for exports made towards equity investment in joint ventures, etc. See, you are having a joint venture or a wholly owned subsidiary abroad. Through that, you are making exports to that. Now, why should you pay commission? Because you are allowed to take money abroad to set up a joint venture or wholly owned subsidiary to earn foreign exchange. Again, why give commission? Okay, already you have spent huge amount. Why pay commission? Whereas if you have an agent abroad who is procuring business, you don't have an office, you don't have a subsidiary, nothing. And to that agent, you have to pay commission. Correct. Similarly, remittance of dividend by any company to which dividend balancing is applicable. See, these are all slightly technical. Because in those days, we had Foreign Investment Promotion Board. Now, even dividend balancing is not there. But in those days, if a foreign company wanted to invest in India and earn money, they wanted to declare dividend and take it out of India. They said, Indian government said, no. Before that, you give me exports. That is why I'm letting you in. So if you're going to take $100 dividend, you give me $400 export. So like that. So based on that, if they do not export it, then dividend balancing will become applicable. Now, they are not satisfying dividend balancing criteria. Therefore, no remittance. It's a reasonable restriction. There's nothing wrong in this. Payment of commission export, okay, where the other country is supposed to encourage our exports. Therefore, no need for commission except tea and tobacco, where 10% of the invoice value can be paid. Payment related to callback services of telephones. See, there are some international numbers. You call that, you will get your astrological sign prediction and all. Sorry, you can't. That money is, you try it now, Airtel will block you. You just call, you don't go. Airtel will not even allow you to make the call. Forget paying. Okay. Even if you have international roaming, those numbers will be blocked. You cannot make. Because the payment will have to be made to those countries. These fellows will be sitting in Brunei or Jakarta, Indonesia, and doing nonsense. So they will get the payment. Airtel will have to be. Now, no way Airtel will permit. Okay. That is, whatever you pay to Airtel will be shared with them. Not allowed. Remittance of interest income on funds held in NRSR. See, NRSR scheme, nobody will deposit today. No fool will deposit because you got better investment. You can directly invest in Indian market, stock market. Why are you investing in NRSR? It will yield very low. And that too, it is non-repatriable, which means you cannot take it out of India. Therefore, prohibited. Interest is prohibited. The deposit is non-repatriable. Interest is also non-repatriable. Repatriable means repatriation means taking the money out of this country, any country. Suppose you have sold goods to a foreign country, then you have to collect and repatriate, bring it out of that country. Okay, like that, taking this money out of India. See, these are all. This is schedule 1 read with rule 3. Now 2 read with 4. Basically, for these activities on this side, you have the activities For these activities, you need approval from these authorities. I can read it for you, but will you remember? Okay, it is something you have to remember. I'm not going to repeat it again because it's a revision class. You are supposed to know it by heart. Every point you should know. Human resource government like that. You want to make a remittance for hiring charges of correspondents. You are a TV channel, then you have to get it from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. You are an internet service provider, then you have to get it from Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. Like that. Prize money of sponsorship of sports activity abroad by a person other than international, national, state level sports bodies. See, your international, national, or state level sports body can give money as sponsorship of sports activity. But other than that, if somebody wants to send money abroad as prize money, etc., then if the amount involved exceeds $100,000, you have to get the permission of the Ministry of Charity, which is why most sports activity will happen under the aegis of a national or state level or international body. Rarely it will happen under a private activity. Because if so, then you have to get approval from HRD. If amount exceeds $100,000, suppose it's less than $100,000, it's okay, go on. $100,000 is a pretty high amount here. Am I correct? 100,000. It's not big amount. Okay. 1 crore maximum. Not a big amount. Up to 1 crore and all, who's going to give? So it's going to cross that. Suppose cricket match, you want to give to the man of the match 2.5 crores or 2.5 crores worth of something benefit. If it is happening under the if it is happening under BCCA, no problem. Okay, which is basically the national board, or if it is happening under TNCA, Tamil Nadu Cricket Association, no problem. State level. Okay, no problem. But or IPL, International Premier League, no problem, because that is all coming under the various bodies. But if some local cricket club, Tenali Cricket Club, wants to do it, then sorry, if it is more than 100,000, you have to get permission from HRD. Okay. Remittance for membership of P&I club. Okay. So that is for insurance, where you want to get, you want to become a member. Okay. Then you have to go to the Ministry of Finance. Okay. Now onwards, we will be having questions. Quickly, we will do current account transaction, then capital account, and then close. So, Mr. Rohan Sharma is an international cricket player, started his own cricket academy. See, all the story, finally, what is the point? They have Rohan Sharma Cricket Academy. Is it a national body? Is it an international body? Is it a state level body? Nothing. Okay. The academy has a cricket team which participates in cricket matches all over India as well. Now, in collaboration with Melbourne Cricket, my God, Australia, in organizing in Melbourne. And Rohan Sharma Academy is required to remit 200,000 to Melbourne Cricket Academy as part of its share for organizing. Can it do so? If so, under what condition? Straightforward question. This entire Rohan Sharma story is relevant. Point. Only one question I will ask. Is Rohan Sharma Cricket Academy a national, state level, or international? No. It's clearly mentioned here, a private coaching club. That is the point. See, when you're reading these problems, go to the crux. Usually, my suggestion to students is do not read from top to bottom. Read from bottom to top. What is the question? Rohan Sharma Academy is required to remit as part. Advise whether it can get foreign exchange, if so, under what conditions. So, something to do with sports. Immediately remember, sports activity. Schedule Rule 4, Schedule 2. That idiot Srikanth told me I should remember. Then what is the condition? National level. Okay, is this a national level body? Oh, private coaching club. Oh, wait. You have to get the approval of the right to sign, you get marks. No. Higher approval is needed, but Ministry of Human Resource Development, Department of Youth Affairs and Sports. Sorry, all of you remember? Will you remember? Ministry of try to remember. That's why I'm saying now this part, who are to remember how you one way 3 times right. It helps short-term memory. What you need to do, you get repetition short-term memory. Repetition gives you short-term memory. Constant repetition with understanding gives you long-term memory. That understanding only we need, some kind of, what should I say, diagram, logic. No. Once you understood, then, so Rohan Sharma needs prior approval of Ministry of Human Resource Development, Department of Youth Services, as prescribed in Schedule 2, read with Rule 4 of the Foreign Exchange Management Current Account Transaction Rules 2000. This is the answer. For this, suppose this question carries 3 marks. For this, 1.5 marks. For this. Okay. For this, 1 mark. Overall presentation, half a mark. So 3 marks, you'll get 2.5 marks if you write these two. See how the answer is given. This is how your answer should be drafted. This is not my wordings. I've taken directly from the Institute MTP. This is the expectation of the institute. Now we go to Schedule 3, read with Rule 5, wherein we get various matters, wherein you have to get prior approval of the Reserve Bank of India. Yeah, I know it's almost going to get over. Yeah, please bear with me, ma. We have just bear with me. What to do? Today, my internet, because it's very windy in Coimbatore, my ACT connection is gone. So I'm working with my mobile card. Anyway, the screen is visible, I think. I appreciate your comment. So what to do? Okay. That was Manish ji from the institute. Okay. Chalo. Now, these require approval of Reserve Bank of India. Prior approval of RBI. See, 9 items are given. They are combined together. Earlier, they were separate limits. Now combined. Private visit to any country, gift or donation, going abroad for employment, immigration, settling abroad, maintenance of close relatives abroad, travel for business. See, as against private visit. This is business visit for attending a conference, specialized training, expenses in connection with medical treatment abroad, studies abroad, any other current account transaction, all together. Okay. Limit. See, for all these matters, put it together, 250,000. That is coming under the liberalized remittance scheme 2000. Can you please remember this? Liberalized remittance scheme. See, this limit is frequently changed. Currently, it is $250,000, $250,000. It could change. Earlier, it was 200,000. Initially, it was 100,000. Like that, it will keep on changing. They might make it 500,000 also. We don't know. Okay. So slowly they are opening up. So LRS is one available. In fact, for your information, LRS can also be used for taking money outside India and investing in capital assets. Okay. But overall limit 250,000. Please listen to me. Understand what I'm saying. 250,000 per annum per person, per financial year per person. You do whatever you want with it. Use it for one of these things. Or you want to buy a house abroad, buy. If you buy a house abroad for $200,000, I doubt if you'll get one. But if you buy, then only $50,000 you have for these items. Are you able to understand? It is a single limit. Anything you want. So, whenever you use money under LRS, then the applicable limit would be reduced from $2 to 50,000 by the amount so remitted. It may be one of these 9 items. It could be even buying shares abroad, investing abroad, whatever. But be careful. Suppose you are going to make an investment in a foreign company, otherwise than through portfolio scheme. Then, see, if you're doing it directly in the stock market, no problem. But if you're going to invest in a company, then you have to also go through ODI. See, the minute you go to the bank and ask for LRS form, they will give you a form in which you will have to write purpose. There, if you write, if at all you write to invest in Dubakur Limited, Singapore, then immediately they will say, sir, some more forms are there, please fill up. Which is ODI form. You cannot circumvent ODI through LRS. Many business people come to me, sir, LRS is there, LRS is there. So the LRS is there. But once you put this as the purpose, then he will say, shall I put some other purpose and take it? Do it at your own risk. Because tomorrow, when they find out that you are invested in that company, it will be a bigger offense. It will be a PMLA offense with ED. This is what they won't agree. They will do. Then they'll get caught. Then we'll go to ED, somehow explain, resolve, get it all cleared up once. Thereafter, they will keep quiet and obey what we say. So these matters. Now, out of these matters, kindly look at 4, 7, and 8. 4 is immigration. Once and for all, leaving India. Bye. Everybody makes us happy. Some when they stay, others when they go. Okay, immigration. So, bye. And 7, expenses in connection with medical treatment abroad. Okay, agreed. Everybody has to go abroad and get treated. But on what is funny is that India is also called medical destination of medical tourism. Okay. Yeah, of course, not for foreigners. Foreigners don't come to India, but the Indians abroad do come because they find they get a similar or equal treatment in India for a far lower amount and better care being given in Indian hospitals than in Europe or US hospitals. Especially dentist services are cheaper in India than abroad. There's a huge opportunity here for dentists to attract people from Malaysia, Singapore to come here and get their dental work done. Then studies abroad. Okay, today everybody's children want to study abroad. UG, study abroad, become a foreigner. Go. Okay, so the children are sent. The parents are separated from the children. Huge money is paid to foreign universities. Shine Punya Madhyalokam Vishanti. Of that, come back to India only. Okay, what to do? Okay, now. So coming to the point for these 3 items, 4, 7, and 8, an individual may avail exchange facility for an amount in excess of the limit prescribed under LRS. See, sometimes the study abroad may be costlier than $250,000. So they want to take more. Then they can, provided they give prospectus and fee receipt of that university or the estimate given by the hospital or the university, etc. Okay. So based on that, they can get higher approval. But only based on this. You don't have to get prior approval of RBI. Even if it exceeds 250,000, if you give the proof to the bank will send. Okay, bank itself can take the call for these 3 items. Otherwise, if you want to exceed LRS, you have to go to RBI. Okay. Also, this is very interesting. If you want to make a donation, normal donations are covered here. But this is for individual. For non-individuals, other than individual, want to give donation, then they can go up to 1% of their foreign exchange earnings during the previous 3 financial years. See, this could be in the form of creating a chair, means paying the salary of a professor. Okay, paying a salary of a professor in a college abroad. See, for example, Mr. X is the MD of XYZ Limited. He studied in Kellogg's University abroad. Now he wants to go back to his alma mater and set up a chair for whatever company, XYZ chair. XYZ Limited share for whatever studies. Okay. Okay. For irrational economics, whatever. Okay. Then that man will be only doing research in irrational economics and teaching it to students to an extent. Okay. But the salary will not be paid by the university. It will be paid by XYZ Limited. Fund will be created and out of that it will be paid. That's called creating a chair. Now the amount, similarly, you can contribute to a technical institution or body or association in the field of activity of the donor company. Note it, your honors, that institution should carry on in the field of activity of the donor company. See, International Rubber Research Institute, there's no such body, the imaginary body. MRF Limited wants to give, they can, because rubber is what they deal in tires, so they can contribute to that. But there's a limit, up to 1% of their foreign exchange earnings during the previous 3 financial years. So this is not average, this is total. You have to total the 3 financial years earnings and okay, whichever is less, or 5 million, whichever is less. Whichever is less. Note it, your honors, whichever is less. Commission per transaction to agents abroad for sale of residential flats or commercial plots. See, you want to promote residential flats abroad. Very good. People staying in Kuwait, Bahrain, Dubai, Muscat, they want to buy in India. No, actually, nobody wants to buy. Everybody now wants to go to Canada or US and buy property there. Nobody wants to buy in India, which is why our Indian the construction industry is now facing problems, because the huge foreign exchange that used to come now is not coming. But luckily, Indians are now richer. We are becoming rich and we are buying houses. Therefore, slowly there will be a revival. Okay. Up to $25,000. So you want to pay commission? Agreed. Up to 25,000 total for a year, or 5% of the inward remittance, whichever is more. Okay. Even if you have a resident foreign currency account or an exchange earners foreign currency account, if you want to go beyond this limit, then you have to get approval from Reserve Bank of India. Consultancy services, you can pay up to 10 million for infrastructure project and 1 million per project for other consultancy services. See, the rascals who are bankers, who are branch or managers, branch in charge, these rascals will only misuse this. You want to send money abroad? Not allowed, or LRS exceeding, then they will say, come here. You mentioned consultancy service. Some bogus bill you give. You can send it. Then they will send that money out. But here it won't be acknowledged as consultancy service. It will be sent to somebody abroad or some company abroad. At the name of what, you will ask, what is this? Yeah, what you sent? It may not be 1 million. Whatever amount they are sending, where you send this money? No, yes, no. What, yes, no, tell me. So then they will tell the truth. Then I say, what, man, if you had come, I would have given you through ODI. A little bit time. No, Srikanth, you don't understand. We didn't have time. You didn't have time. No, now spend all the time to prove this. Because tomorrow, if that is proved that it is not consultancy services properly taken, you're out. It is a violation of FEMA penalty. So we immediately will apply for compounding and we will try to get them out of the picture. Similarly, reimbursement of pre-incorporation expenses up to 5% of the investment brought into India or US dollar, 100,000, whichever is higher. Okay. So Mithali Diamonds, a nice question. Can you give me the answer quickly? Whether the company can give the donation or not. Immediately preceding 3 financial years, they've wantedly given you 5 to confuse. And some people, what they will do, I'm not saying do, I'm saying they will, in the hurry, they will total up these 3. Because they are the last 3 now. They won't see that this is in this order, not in this order. So it's from earlier year to the latest year. So latest is here. Yes, quickly, any answers? Very easy, no? You have to total up. Am I correct? 125, 110, 95, which is $3,300 or 5 million, whichever is less. Okay. It wants to give $10,000. It has to get approval of Reserve Bank of India. Okay. Now, here they are given you the total 600 million. What is the maximum amount they are asking? You can easily just calculate. Yeah, what is that? 5% you calculate. That's all. Sorry, 1% you calculate. 6 million. Okay. Similarly, STU had foreign exchange earnings of USD 250 millions. It plans to donate 3 million. So 250 million, it's 2.5 million. So you can't give 3. You either give 2.5 without approval or go for approval and give 3. Now, if the transaction is not listed in any of the 3, it can be freely undertaken. Also, except for a few cases specifically they mentioned, other than that, you can always use your EEFC and RFC. What is the EEFC? When you are earning in foreign currency, instead of bringing it and converting it into Indian currency, you can keep it in the EEFC account as foreign currency. You are allowed to do it, but actually not a good idea. Believe me, because better you convert it to Indian rupee and invest it in a business. Because whenever you want, you can always take the money now. In those days, there was rationing. Today, what? I just go to bank, go like this and take the money. Why are we worrying? We have dollar rate fluctuation is there. Dollar rate sometimes, the rupee strengthens, yeah. And at this rate, with the enlightened government that we have, they are going to be really, in another 5 years' time, Indian rupee will become the strongest currency in the world. So this is one more type of question where they will give you some examples and ask you to answer. See, in those days, there were separate limits. Now, single. Also, sometimes they will ask a question where the man wants to remit it for purposes from all the 3 schedules they will ask. For example, payment of commission made towards equity investment only one subsidiary. Schedule 1, prohibited. Remittance of hiring charges or transponded by TV channel. Okay. Now, Schedule 2 requires prior approval of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Right? See, here also, payment of 10,000 as commission on exports and rupee state credit route, prohibited. You have to mention Schedule 1 read with Rule 3. Also, US dollar 30,000 for a business trip to UK. If within the LRS limit, take it. In those days, 25,000 limit was there. Now, no limit. And now limit was 250,000. Take it. Above LRS limit, she already crossed LRS limit, approval. Remittance of US dollar 200,000 for payment as prize money to the winning team in hockey tournament to be held in Australia. Nothing is mentioned about international, national, or we assume that this is not held under a national, international, or any other body. Therefore, you have to get the approval of the Ministry of Human Resources Development. Are you able to see the pattern? So you need to know this. This is very, very important from exam point of view, sir. This part. How you are going to study, God only knows. From here to here. Better you use somewhere. And sir, what is this, sir? What is that, sir? That is what that day I was a little crude and asked that time got angry. But what to do? These are all things you have to know. Okay? Whereas there are many things which you need not know. Knowing it makes no sense. Quickly, we will see what is capital account transaction and prohibited capital account transactions. So basically, capital account transaction is defined. Here they say, capital account transaction, any transaction which alters what? Any transaction which alters assets or liabilities, assets are in India of a PROI. Any transaction which alters assets or liabilities in India of a PROI, or which alters assets, liabilities, including contingent liabilities outside India of a PRI. Which means what? Foreigner wants to buy land in India, capital account. Foreigner wants to invest in a company in India for capital account. Foreigner wants to borrow from India, capital account. Are you able to understand? Similarly, Indian wants to borrow from abroad, capital account. Because it's creating a liability. Indian wants to buy a house in Miami for a capital account. PRIA wants to buy a... Also contingent liability. For example, ERIA is giving a guarantee. PRIA is giving a guarantee in connection with a loan given to a person residing outside India. That means what? You are creating see, a foreign bank is giving a loan. You are a PRIA giving guarantee. Classic example is corporate guarantee. We are having a Singapore branch. Singapore branch wants to raise money from a Singapore branch of your company, wants to raise funds in Hong Kong. They want to borrow from Hong Kong. So the Singapore bank who is giving the funding, okay, wants a guarantee from the Indian company. This is nothing but contingent liability created outside. There is an alteration means three: create, modify, delete. Three things are there. So creation is also alteration. Everything is nothing. Suddenly God creates the whole world. There's a disturbance. There's an alteration. Then modification. Then destruction. That is, you delete it. Payback. Whatever it is a capital account transaction. So there is a creation of a contingent liability outside India by a PRIA, capital account transaction. See, in the section 6 in the institute book, there are the list of capital account transactions. Basically, purchase of shares, assets, all that. Just go through that. Okay, section 6. Okay, go through it. Now, there are some prohibited transactions, very important. These transactions are prohibited. So, a PRY is prohibited. Prohibited means it cannot be done. So, from making investment in India in any form, in any company or partnership firm or proprietary concern or any entity, whether incorporated or not, it is engaged in or proposes to engage in chit fund business, Nidhi company, agricultural or plantation activity. Some people will call me, Mr. Srikanth, I want to give back to my mother country. Okay, what do you want to do? I want to buy land in my native place and do agriculture. Sorry, you cannot. No, we can't. I'm an Indian. You are not an Indian. No, I am an Indian. How? I am a OCA, overseas citizen of India. Okay, what passport you are holding? US. You are a citizen of which country? Okay, I am a citizen of US, but I am an Indian. You are not an Indian. So, and since you are not a person resident in India, you are a PRY, you are not allowed to invest in agricultural or plantation activities. Okay. So, I mean, sometimes I can be very rude when it comes to these NRIs because the way they talk is as if they are some Indians, as if they are more patriotic than people like us who are actually living in this country. So, in real estate business or construction of farmhouses, so real estate business not allowed, farmhouses not allowed. Okay. Also, the real estate business does not include construction. So you can invest in construction of residential commercial premises. So we want to develop, housing. Therefore, they say foreign direct investment is permitted in construction and of residential and commercial. Okay. And also roads, bridges, and all, or in real estate investment trusts. So that is permitted. But what you can't do is you can't buy open land, make it into plot and sell it. No. Nor you can construct farmhouses and sell. No. But normal construction, you can. Also, TDR, you cannot buy and sell. Transfer development rates are available to a person based on his available land and all. Now, instead of he using it, he can sell it. So that also prohibited for a PRY. So Mr. Banda, a software engineer of Indian origin, took employment in USA. He is a resident of USA. That's all. Matter over. You are Indian origin, not. I don't care. Today, who are you? You are a PRY. What do you want to do? Acquire a farmhouse in Munnar? No, you cannot. Okay, because it is prohibited. This is prohibited under the Capital Account Transaction Regulations. Okay, 1999. To make investment in KLJ Nidhi, no, you cannot. To make investment in Rose Real Estate, an Indian company formed for the development of township. Townships allowed. Townships allowed. Development of townships allowed. So that third item allowed. Balance not allowed. Okay. Now, as I told you, you can use the LRS for capital account transactions. Except prohibited. This prohibited is PRY in India. Whereas PRIA wants to remit money abroad, he can. Up to $250,000, do whatever you want, except ODA. Do whatever you want, buy a house. Within that limit, do whatever you want. Similarly, a PRIA, if he is already, today he is a PRIA. When he was a PRY, he acquired a property or inherited a property, then that will not amount to a capital transaction. Okay, he can sell it, do whatever he wants without any approval. So today, Mr. A is a PRIA. Before that, he was a PRY. When he was a PRY, he acquired it, that property. Then it is not a capital account transaction. There is no need for any permission. Similarly, a PRY, when he was a PRIA, he acquired property in India or inherited in India. That can be sold by him or her, even though now he is a PRY. Got it? So, when did you acquire the property is the question. When you were a PRIA, now you are a PRY. So no problem to it. When did you acquire the property? When you were a PRY abroad. Now also you can do it. No need for any approvals, etc. Authorized person, I already explained it to you. So all this is the appellate hierarchy under the FEMA, etc., etc. So with this, I will stop. It was a good, I hope, revision session for you. To the best of my abilities, I have tried to cover the topics allotted to me from the exam point of view, as well as from a knowledge point of view. I have walked a tightrope to ensure that the time was spent usefully and relevantly. Thank you for your cooperation. Wishing you all the very best. Bye. Sir, yes, over, sir. Yeah, class is over, sir.